Good evening, everyone. I'm Nicole Buddie.
And I'm Porras, and we're here to discuss the current situation of firefighters in today's society.
Communities throughout our nation contain men and women that protect and save the lives of others behind the fire.
Since 9/11, the appreciation of firefighters has dwindled and gone unnoticed.
Do we truly know what these firefighters sacrifice on a daily?
These are their stories.
What have you sacrificed in order to pursue your career?
I have sacrificed, pretty much all of my 20s, going out and partying. Have a wife and 2 kids at home that sometimes they're seeing me get sacrificed. Don't know how many Christmas mornings I've, missed because of the job. So I guess the biggest of that is family time.
When we think of firefighters, we usually have a common image. The image consists of brave people who have dedicated their career to protecting and saving the life of others from harm. Do we truly appreciate those who are behind the fire?
We believe that he was in the South Tower. He was never recovered. He was another great person that died that day.
How has your career shaped the person you have become today?
I think it's made me a better person, kept me out of trouble in my younger part of my career, seeing some of the things that we see, that we go through. So I think it's only made me a better person. My inspiration was my family. I'm a 3rd generation firefighter. My grandfather retired as a captain. My other grandfather was a firefighter for a couple of years. My father was an assistant chief. My stepfather was a fire chief. I got a brother that's a captain at Tecumseh Fire Department. I have an uncle who's in Ohio as a firefighter. My brother used to be a firefighter, so huge family impact.
Again, this all began about an hour and 15 minutes ago here in Lower Manhattan when the first of 2 planes crashed in to the first of the 2 towers behind me at the World Trade Center, and you can see the smoke billowing out of the front tower now. And then about a half an hour later, just as emergency crews were converging on the scene, as eyewitnesses were gathering on the street corners, a second plane drove in too, and you can see that plane coming around the building right now in this tape, and there you can see the hit as it comes through what looked to me, at least, and this is the first time I've seen that tape, come through the back side of the tower. I guess that would be the south side of the tower, and then the smoke and flame coming out the front side. Again, that was about a half hour after the first attack, which was at about 8:45.
The firemen had 29 minutes to get out of the World Trade Center or perish.
9/11 actually happened when within my first year of working here. So I knew a couple of people that actually went there and helped out with the rescue efforts and that sort of thing. So it was difficult for everybody. I think that we lost 343 firefighters, police officers, EMS workers. That definitely had never happened in history, and hopefully it never does again. So that holds on. I think we'll always remember that and try and learn from it. And I think that's the most important thing, is trying to learn some different things, if we're ever encounter a situation like that again.
Where I was at on 9/11, my father and I did construction. He owned a construction business. We were building a deck. One of the guys that worked for us was also a firefighter, and pulled in the driveway and yelled out the window, "We're going to war." We didn't have a clue what was going on. We went in the guy's house that we were working, and we turned on the TV and we seen what was going on. My dad said, pack all the tools away, we're going home for the day. We ended up back at my dad's house watching news coverage, and for about, I want to say about 3 hours, and then after that I went down to the station and watched it with the rest of the guys at Raisin Township Fire Department. And I don't think I left there until probably 8 o'clock at night. We actually had a sign-up sheet of guys who would volunteer to go to Ground Zero, and I was one of them.
These firefighters were victims, just like everybody else in the building. Their time was limited, therefore so were their actions.
There hasn't been any real regulation changes since 9/11. There's been a lot that we've learned from it about the building construction because as far as I know, nobody thought those buildings would ever collapse. And that's really, there was a lot to be learned from that. Normally we do what we've always done is we go in and we rescue people and do the best we can, but in that instance, nobody thought that those buildings were going to collapse. So there's been some training and some different things since then, trying to learn from it and figure out, okay, why did the buildings collapse and what can we learn from those incidents.
Join with all those who want peace and security in the world. None of us will ever forget this day.
Showing our appreciation for our fire department can impact the way they interact with the community during a time of crisis.
Do you feel that you are appreciated for your service?
They could show more appreciation by going to their local government, their commission meeting, their township board meetings, their village council meetings, whatever it may be, when they start talking about cutting fire department, cutting staffing, cutting the fire department's budget, and showing our support, that they support us, and telling those elected officials that the fire department is not the place to be cutting and looking for dollar signs. We work short as it is, we work long hours, we're not here to make $1 million and drive Maseratis around, I've got a 2010 Ford Escape I drive around that's starting to rust, We just want a fair wage and we want to be able to serve our communities and have the best equipment to do it in.
Firefighters are here to help, save, and protect the community, so showing a few acts of generosity can go a long way.
Cones of bodies. Cones of bodies. Cones of bodies.